We have 300-pound monofilament leader line. We take and cut that down to 2 3-foot segments right here. You'll start with one tag end, and you're going to feed that through a double sleeve. This is an aluminum one. It's appropriately sized for the mono. So you feed that through, and then you're going to take a number 2 or a number 4. These are number 4 sized barrel swivels. You feed the tag in through one end of it, and on the other side of that sleeve, you're going to feed that tag in through. Leave about 1/16 to about 1/8 of an inch of mono. Bring it down to about 1/2 inch. That's the kind of loop that you're going to want to form. Take you some crimpers. Right there. And because the sleeve is pretty big, we're going to crimp it twice to make sure that we get through the entire sleeve and we lock it in place. At the other end, we're going to feed. These are plastic beads for hair, and you can get these from Amazon. And we've got a snap swivel right here. That is a number 4 size. You're going to feed that through. And then you're going to feed the remainder of the beads through. Just like so. And what you end up with is your snap swivel and then the beads on each side of that. We'll take and feed a sleeve through, another barrel swivel, go right back through, cinch down to about 1/2 inch again, and then crimp it in place. And the first segment is done. We'll take the second piece of 3-foot mono, feed another sleeve through, and we're going to be using a 7/0 size circle hook. The hook is secure. One more sleeve. And we're going to connect both segments together with that other barrel swivel that we put. And that's it. That's all that's required to make this leader. The main line gets connected to this size 4 swivel right there. You're going to add a spider weight to the snap swivel, which is right here. This is going to anchor you down in the sand because you're going to be using such big big pieces of bait. You're going to need something pretty heavy to anchor yourself down on the bottom. And so when you cast out, what's going to happen is this is going to hit the bottom. These little legs are going to help to anchor in the sand or whatever it is that's down there. And then you got the swivel. When you put a big piece of bait, whether that's going to be cut mullet, crab, those are the two that we like to use here on the Texas coast, that is going to get caught by the current. So the tidal movement, you always want to make sure that you do have that movement, because that means the fish are going to be feeding. And what happens is your crab and your mullet are going to start to twist out there in that current. And what's going to happen is if it keeps twisting, your line is going to start to twist up on itself, and it's just going to be a big old mess. What we have to counteract that is the actual barrel swivel in between each segment. So this can twist all at once. That barrel swivel will allow it to go ahead and just spin around freely. Had we not have that, then everything is just going to be a big old huge mess. And we have a 3-foot segment right here, so that allows, when the fish takes it, he's going to be able to go a distance of 3 feet before tension actually hits the weight and he feels any tension whatsoever. The reason why we're using 300-pound monofilament leader line is because when you're trying to land these fish from the bank, sometimes you'll be on the Jetty rocks and it's kind of dangerous with swells coming in. You'll want something that's very thick so that your hand can grab it. And when you're hoisting these big fish up onto them rocks and getting to safety away from them swells, you don't want this leader line to actually sink into your skin and cut you. We're not using it because we're going to try to go after a big 300-pound fish. It's merely for the safety factor of not cutting your hand. And that right there is how you make your own saltwater leaders that will work for anything out there.
Now you guys can see that as the tide kind of takes it as it's falling, we got a little bit more of a straight shot there, so we can adjust the fall.